Are you thinking about moving to Caldwell, Idaho, but you are unsure and very unclear on why so few are talking about Caldwell? You have come to the right place. I'm gonna dive into the pros and cons of Caldwell, Idaho. I live in a Caldwell address. My kids go to Middleton schools, but there are plenty of areas in Caldwell that are worth a look or two. Let's go dive into Caldwell and find out what's up with Caldwell, Idaho. People are obsessed with Caldwell's outdoors. Let me explain why. There's this wonderful concept of the Treasure Valley that's called parks. We love our parks and rec. You are now looking at drone footage of all of Caldwell. You can see there are plenty of open areas. You can see there's plenty of parks. And the number of parks that you can see on this list is almost innumerable, right? There are a ton of options for you to enjoy when it comes to parks and open land and things to do in Caldwell. One of the best parks I think there is in Caldwell is the park right next to Lake Lowell in Caldwell. And Lake Lowell is a lake, it's a reservoir actually dammed up, and there's a Nampa side and a Caldwell side. We always go to the Caldwell side, and there's a sweet park there, plenty of grass to do a ton of things. You can actually have a swimming area for the little kids, and there's also a dock ramp to get your boats into Lake Lowell. That is my favorite park of them all. Brothers Park is a great park across the street from the YMCA, and there's also Indian Creek Plaza, not a park per se, but a place you can go in the outdoors and enjoy. When it comes to outdoors and golf, Fairview Golf Course is in Caldwell. There are two other golf courses that are quote unquote in Caldwell. One of those is Purple Sage, and that is more in Middleton than Caldwell, even though it has a Caldwell address. And then there's also Timberstone, that's way west of the interstate. That's about 10 miles west. A good friend of ours owns that actually. They have a good golf course out there. And let me get back to Purple Sage Golf Course here for a second, because this is gonna explain a lot of things with Caldwell. When you look at the map, it shows Caldwell. Caldwell's a large area. I don't know if you know how the post service works, but in order for you to get Caldwell address, it's which post office do you belong to. If you're not in city limits, your city name is going to be dictated by the post office. Not sure if you knew that. True story for you, my brother-in-law lives in Idaho City, and had he lived on the other side of the street, he would have a Boise address, even though Boise is a good 30 minutes away, because that's the post office that would deliver to him. Idaho City is the post office that delivers to him, so therefore he has an Idaho City address. Same thing here with me in Caldwell. I am in Middleton for all intents and purposes, except for what goes on the postcard. Same thing with Purple Sage Golf Course. Timberstone is almost close out there to Wilder and Homedale area, and Fairview is the only golf course in Caldwell that is actually Caldwell for sure. When it comes to farms in Caldwell, there's actually quite a few farms you can go visit or at least check out. McIntyre Pastures, Peacefully Belly Farm, Cherry Hills Farms, Flaming Acres Farm, Boise River Lamb. Let me show you why Caldwell is the perfect place for you. Caldwell, like all of the Treasure Valley, is run off of HOAs. HOAs have the water rights. If you don't know how that works, let me give you a brief explanation. Your community is going to pay for water rights, and it's going to share those water rights with the residents that pay into the HOA. So when you put your HOA bill in Caldwell, you're actually going to get water usage for your grass, shrubs, trees, you name it. Not the inside of the house, just the outside. So when you're paying $300 a year for HOA, you're actually getting free water for your yard. That is a huge pro to the Boise Valley. Since you're coming from out of state, water is going to work differently in your land. And also know that we're not fighting for water off the Colorado River, so it's a bonus here. In the last year, Caldwell has had 38 home sales that are over $1 million. There has only been one home sale over $2 million in Caldwell in the last year. There's been 128 home sales with an acre or more, and that means 1,261 home sales that were less than an acre in the last year in Caldwell. Median home price in Caldwell is $389. The lowest home price in Caldwell was under $100,000, barely by $1,000, and the highest home sale price in Caldwell was $2.2 million. Compare that to the other areas around, but for example, take the lowest home sale price in Eagle in that same time, it's actually about within $4,000, the same price as Caldwell's median price. When it comes to local government, what does a mayor-council system look like? It looks like one mayor overseeing a council, people who are interested in the votes of the city. If there's ever a swing vote needed, the mayor steps in. I can say without hesitation that what Caldwell is trying to embody and trying to develop for its city is a nice, family-friendly atmosphere. It hasn't always been that way, and that's why I get locals saying, hey, I'd never move to Caldwell. It's because there's a little bit of a bias there. I remember when the gangs of Nampa and Caldwell would fight, and you'd hear about a shooting or a death. I don't know if it was every year, every 6 months, but that has cleaned up. There's a lot of stuff that's been cleaned up. Caldwell taking a huge look at Indian Creek Plaza and trying to grow outwards and trying to take the ghetto out of Caldwell. And when I say ghetto, I don't think it's gonna be anything compared to what you're coming from. Caldwell is doing a nice job of that, and that government and the mayor and the policies and things that are changing in Caldwell as we speak are things that are helping the city for the better. One of the things I've already mentioned is the cardboard box boat races. Those are pretty cool. Those types of activities, the summer activities, the splash pads, the skating rink, all at Indian Creek Plaza are helping change Caldwell from the inside out. And when we're changing things from the inside out, we're also boosting the economy in Caldwell. And real quick, if you are looking to move to the Boise Valley, my name is Brian Hymas. There is no greater compliment that I received than a phone call, text, or email from you saying that you're trying to get here. If it's a question you have because you're moving here in the next 9 months, or if you are hot in the chase and you need to move here in 9 days, give me a call, text, email, and we'll get you set up on the Buying in Boise Blueprint, which gets you what you want, which is a house in Idaho, driver's license says Idaho, and license plates that says Idaho. Gets you to be a full-fledged Idahoan, which is what you want because you are a freedom-seeking future Idahoan. When it comes to Second Amendment, that's a pro in Caldwell. This is a pro Second Amendment town. Are there any cons with Caldwell? Sure, growing pains, public transportation, but the Treasure Valley as a whole isn't a huge place for public transportation. There are buses, but that's really it. It's really slow. There's not a lot of people who use them. It's still being built out. That's gonna take a long time to develop. I don't think we're there yet, and you're gonna continue to see subsidized gas prices to ride on that bus, but we are seeing that they're not overly used, and so there's not a lot of buses going around. It's not like you're getting buses stopped by every 3 minutes at that bus stop. It's a 15-minute wait sometimes. When it comes to taxes, you're actually gonna wanna be outside the city limits. Now that has its pros and cons. It sure does. For example, on the taxes, I took 2 properties, both between $829,000 and $849,000, and the tax difference between them is actually about $4,000. One is $1,149.58, while the other one is $2 short of $5,200. So you tell me which one is better to live in. I would go county if I were you. You can do whatever you want. When you go to buy a house, part of the Buying in Boise Blueprint is getting a good lender, and that will save you $9,000, $10,000, $11,000 just by picking the right lender. When we work with the right lender, he or she, my lender is a he will get you set up with the taxes, with the insurance, with the mortgage, with all that type of stuff, and you will see which one is cheaper. You can compare apples to apples with those 2 payment options and choose the best house for you. Can we talk about Caldwell shops, hospitals, and schools? Here's what you need to know. Albertsons, Bi-Mart, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Flying J, Walmart, Walgreens. Caldwell has all the fast food restaurants you'll need: Dairy Queen, McDonald's, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, Carl's Jr., you know, those ones. Subway, Domino's, Taco Time, Arctic Circle, Chipotle, Freddy's, Los Betos. Overall, there are a ton of Mexican restaurants in Caldwell. When it comes to sit-down restaurants, you're gonna see more Mexican restaurants than most towns. There's Acapulco, which I've eaten at, that's near Indian Creek. There's also Indian Creek Steakhouse, very, very popular. Twisted Fig, Keystone Pizza, which is a favorite of my father's. Sunrise Family Restaurant is a great breakfast joint. You'll eat there all day long. That one's a pretty good one. When it comes to hospitals, you do have West Valley, which you'll find right there by Fairview Golf Course in Caldwell. If not those, you'll be hopping on the freeway to hit up Midland exit for St. Luke's or Garrity exit for St. Al's. When it comes to schools, we'll see A, B, and C ratings. More C's than other places for sure. Take this with a grain of salt or take it as gospel. There are 2 school districts in Caldwell operating. There's the Caldwell School District and Valley View School District. Valley View is mostly the perimeter and edges. That's more of the county. If you're gonna be in the fringes of Caldwell, you'll be Valley View School District going to Valley View High or Caldwell High, and that one's there. Which is funny because Caldwell and Valley View High are like a mile and a half apart. Jefferson and Syringa are the middle schools that go to Caldwell, and then for Valley View High, that's Valley View Middle. Okay, come on. Let's go eat. Amano is a nice restaurant right in the heart of Caldwell, Idaho that brings a fresh take on Mexican cuisine. Known for its cozy vibe and delicious dishes, Amano prides itself on using locally sourced ingredients to create traditional Mexican flavors with a modern twist. Whether you're grabbing tacos, enchiladas, or something off their seasonal menu, you'll feel the attention to detail in every bite. It's the kind of place that's perfect for a laid-back dinner with family or friends, and you'll definitely want to come back for more.
How is it?
Very fine. Just for TV. All right, so I'm gonna give you my honest take on Caldwell, and you're gonna have to give me your honest take in the comments of where you'd rather move. And if you are wondering where you should move, for no rhyme or reason, I'm gonna choose Middleton 9 times out of 10. I'm gonna also choose Valley View schools over Caldwell schools. Just my opinion, I don't think there's any real reason other than that's what I'd feel comfortable with. I think that's where my familiarity is. I would be choosing Middleton over Valley View over Caldwell in that order. But again, if you want to go check out Middleton, go check out the Moving Middleton video right there. That is going to give you a lot of information on Middleton. If you love Caldwell, there's nothing wrong with Caldwell. I just think you need to be driving to different parts. There's a reason Caldwell's real estate is a little cheaper. And so I'm going to be moving to the outskirts of Caldwell. That's just my personal preference. And if you are watching this video and you actually know something I did not include, which actually might be likely because I don't have the most familiarity with Caldwell's downtown. Not a lot. I don't go there often. There's a reason for that. I don't associate myself with that town a lot just by natural causes. If I'm going shopping, I'm going to Nampa. When I go to a steakhouse, I usually don't think of Indian Creek. We do go to the theater there a lot. And so that is in the area I'm familiar with. That's Indian Creek. The ice skating I've been to the theater quite a bit. And again, my name is Brian Hymas, born and raised here in the Boise Valley. Real estate agent for the last 7 or 8 years, an appraiser before that. I love all things Boise, all things real estate. So if you're looking to move here in the next 9 days, 9 months, there's no greater compliment than that phone call, text, or email from you saying you want to jump on that Buying in Boise blueprint and become a full-fledged freedom-seeking Idahoan. One of Indian Creek's more fun events is the duck. One of Indian Creek Plaza's when it comes to outdoors and golf. What's that golf course called? Fairview. When it comes to been to other valley, if you're coming from RAF, and I can put you on the Buying in Boise. What we want to do is when it comes to schools, we'll see A, B, and C ratings. You know it's not the same as it was.
I'm not doing a very good job. Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Oh, nope, my finger was in the filming. Will you please take it off your head now?